say a special good morning to one and all listening to Classic Radio, and those of you viewing GBN TV, how are you this morning? Hope all is well. Those of you also via social media platforms, good morning, and certainly hope you're having a great Wednesday morning thus far. It's the 16th day of October 2024. It's a kind of special day for me too. Probably say it as the morning goes along, but I'll keep it quiet for now. Yeah.
It's not your birthday, is it?
It's my mom's birthday.
Oh.
But she's passed on, though, so still a memory of it. All right. Anyway, let me say good morning once. Let me say good morning to my guest this morning. That's Miss Jacqueline Alexis. She's the chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee. Let me say good morning to you, Miss Alexis, and how are you this morning? Hope all is well with you.
Good morning, GT, and yes, I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me on the program this morning.
You're certainly welcome. Nice to have you again on the program. Is it a couple of times for the year so far?
Yes, I've been here a few times this year.
For the year so far. Well, you know, it's better than lots of folks. We don't get a lot of folks repeating, but nice to have you back again.
Thank you.
So we talk, our conversation this morning is basically going to be based on, of course, National Heroes Day.
Correct.
That's coming up on October the 19th, just a couple of days from now.
Absolutely.
Time flies. Just a couple of months we were saying, October 19th is coming nationally. We're going to be having the celebration and so forth.
Here we are.
And here we are. It's already upon us. Just a couple of days from now, and we will be at that celebration with it. So to get the conversation rolling off this morning, tell us, how is preparation going thus far for National Heroes Day, October the 19th, in terms of the preparations?
The preparations are going very well. We have a team of people who are very, experienced at what they do and getting things ready. The park is being prepared, decorated, stage going up, all of those things are happening around the country. Hopefully people are, booking themselves on a bus, on a free bus to get there. So things, yes, we're ready. We're ready
for that. What can Grenadians look forward to for National Heroes Day?
National Heroes Day this
2020,
year. Progress Park in St Andrews. It's a 2-hour program. It's deliberately a 2-hour program so that we can allow people to have their own commemorations or activity in their own way. As we know, it's not just National Heroes Day, it's also the anniversary of the 19th of October 1983. And so we wanted to have a program that would give us an opportunity to reflect and remember and to have our commemoration, but also to allow the population to be able to go off and have their own commemoration in whatever way they choose to have it.
Okay. Because, I was hearing that, there was conversation of it. There's always conversation of it.
Absolutely.
That it should be a day of reflection and so forth. It should be. It should be. But you're still offering the option that individuals can go out and have their own...
Well, when I say, yes, and when I say go and have, I mean have your reflections.
That's what I want to get
have your commemoration. I'm not saying go out and have a blocker or that. Please do not say that Jackie said that. No. It is supposed to be a day of reflection and remembrance.
Yeah.
And I hope that that people will see it in that way and mark it in that way, in what seems respectful.
Okay, great. Tell me a wee bit. Highlights of this particular celebration. The key highlights.
The key highlights. I guess the one of the biggest key highlights is the keynote speaker, the feature address, which will be delivered by Dr. the Honourable Ralph Gonzalez from St Vincent and the Grenadines. A very animated speaker, a very passionate speaker, and we're very much looking forward to his address. We will also have an address by our Prime Minister, Honourable Deacon Mitchell, who will bring some remarks and information and updates on moving forward with National Heroes Day. We have presentations by National Folk Group, we have Wizard and Scholar, we have some spoken word, and I've been really pushing this one because I'm very much into the performing arts and the artistic industry, and spoken word seems to be something that's really taking off in Grenada, poetry and so on, and I'm really excited by that because I've seen some very animated poetry deliverers and so on, and they're just artists, and they're just very exciting. So we have 2 spoken word artists with us for Heroes Day this year. So yes, we have Rainbow City All Stars, we have Vinnie Way. So it's going to be quite a full program. In addition to that, which might maybe take us on to the next thing, we will be having some awards given in recognition for significant contributions made by the parish of St Andrew's residents. Mm-hmm. So we've got about 6, and we're selecting residents within the community who may be within farming, within sports, youth with sports or culture. And it's just in recognition of the contributions and services that they've made to their communities and to the parish. Mm-hmm. So they're recognition awards.
So it would actually be based more on St Patrick and St Andrew.
Sorry, St Andrews, because that's where we will be. That's where we're having the event this year.
There's also that conversation as relates to that honours list. Give us an explanation on that. How the whole process of that will be rolled out.
The honours. There are several different things here. The honours list is the Governor General's list of awards, and I believe a lot of that is also linked to what comes from the King.
Yes.
There is a committee which is enacted into law, and that committee is responsible for those honours. Mm-hmm. So, for instance, GT gets an MBE or a CBE or something like that. That comes from the King. It comes from England. That comes through the Governor General. Those awards are given through the Governor General, and she has an awards committee that is responsible for that. So that's something separate. The National Heroes does not yet have a committee. Okay. So I want to be very, very clear about this, because I know there are some misunderstandings and some concerns about, national heroes having been announced, and people wondering, well, how did this person get announced? Nobody.
So in a nutshell of getting this clarified, there isn't any...
There are no national heroes that have been announced...
Or selected.
At this point, or selected.
In this particular time.
In order to announce and to dedicate national heroes, a committee must be established. And a process must be gone through.
Yes.
So there must be, for instance, public consultation. There has to be legislation that has to be enacted into law. There has to be a committee established, and that committee then has to put together a criteria, right? And then, once all of those things are done, then you can move into looking at, asking for recommendations from the general public or wherever to nominate persons to be given the highest accolade that you could say of being named a national hero. I know that there's also some misconception out there that because the $50 note has it depicts Morris Bishop and Geary and also Kirani, there's an assumption that means that these persons have been made heroes. That is not the case. The $50 note was purely in remembrance of the last 50 years of independence. So it had nothing to do with naming national heroes. Okay. It's a keepsake. It's a souvenir for you to keep in remembrance of the 50 years, and the persons depicted on it are there because they made significant contributions to the country during that 50 years.
Okay.
Right? Obviously, if you look at the $50 note, it has the flower, it has the bird, it has, all of the emblems. But the persons depicted on it, it's about their contribution during the last 50 years. They have not been named national heroes.
Well, I'm kind of happy that you decided to make that clarification this morning, because folks always thought with the $50 note coming out, of course, yes, it came out. It should have been part of the 50th anniversary celebration. It's still part of it. It's still part of it.
Yes, we're only just coming to the end of that year.
Folks were thinking, well, they were going to be the ones being part of the national heroes. But debunking that a wee bit. letting us know it's just part of all the $50 that has been part of the 50th anniversary of something.
Yes, it's about the anniversary of independence, the 50th anniversary of independence. It's not about naming national heroes.
Now, if I may ask you, why haven't this committee been selected as yet?
Again, like I said, it's a process, and we just announced National Heroes Day last year.
Yeah,
it had to be enacted into law. Also, that happened. It was gazetted. So this really is the first year of National Heroes Day and the holiday. I don't want to kind of preempt anything that will come from the Prime Minister and so on. I know he will address some of what I've said today as well, and will speak to how we want to move forward in terms of National Heroes Day. But it is a process, and you can't just go and announce a national hero just for the sake of announcing a national hero. There has to be a proper process. There has to be proper criteria and justification for why we would want to say that this person is a national hero because they did X, Y, and Z.
Yeah. Let's talk a wee bit about the significance of October 19th this year, National Hero, and the day has been the significance of it for us as a people.
Well, again, last year we commemorated 40 years since 1983.
Yeah.
So we're into our 41st year. The 19th of October is never going to go away. It's always going to be in the mind of our citizens. It's people are still feeling the impact of that. So it's important for us to recognise that. Part of our activity on Saturday, we will have a remembrance section within it, where we will read out the names of those who would have perished. There will be a symbolic laying of wreaths. There will be the bugler will play the last post. There will be a gun salute. So we are taking that time for reflection, remembrance of the 19th of October 1983.
All right. I mean, you would expect there are some folks who are passionate about this particular
Absolutely.
date. Totally passionate about this particular date. The individuals who have lost their lives, there are folks who have lost family members and still may up to today may not have known where they are. So there are folks who will offer some resistance to this day. You understand? And so I certainly hope that, whatever has been done would be bring some peace to a lot of individuals if it's possible.
Well, yeah, if it's possible. I mean, nobody can dictate how somebody else feels or how they deal with their pain.
Yes.
What I know we want to do, and what I know we're keen to do as a committee and and I believe as the government, is to try to unify the country. The theme this year is unity in commemorating our heroes, past, present, and future. And yes, we have a past, we have a present, and we have to remember the future is yet to come. It's important to remember those moments, but it's also important to remember that we are all Grenadians. We are one people, and we have to find a way to move forward together as one people. Not forgetting the past, but not carrying it all the time through and making enemies for it.
Understandably so.
Yeah, so that's kind of my personal feeling as well.
All right. We're due for a break. Let's take our first break in this segment, folks. We'll be right back with much more. Stay with us here on To The Point for today, Wednesday, the 16th day of October. We'll be right back. Don't touch it down.
Grenada is invited to be a part of the National Heroes Day commemoration on Saturday, October 19th, 2024 at Progress Park in St. Andrew from 9:30 a.m. to 12 midday. National Heroes Day will be commemorated under the theme Unity in commemorating our heroes, past, present, and future. Speakers at the National Heroes Day commemoration will include the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, and the Honorable Ralph Gonzalez, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. An exciting and entertaining cultural package will form part of the celebrations. Organize your groups now and let's make this a most memorable event in recognition of the sacrifices and achievements of our national heroes. Free transportation will be provided. National Heroes Day Commemoration 2024, Saturday, October 19th, Progress Park in St. Andrew.
Tourism is me, tourism is you, tourism is everybody, and tourism connects us all.
Did you know that tourism generates revenue and foreign exchange earnings?
Did you know it stimulates infrastructural development and facilitates cultural exchange among people?
You must know tourism is linked to all industries,
from agriculture to construction.
So support the industry today and be welcoming to all our visitors.
Tourism is my business. Tourism is your business. Tourism is our business. Listen, one and all. Tourism connects us all.
A message from the Ministry of Tourism
and the Grenada Tourism Authority.
Dryden and Miners, Rennick Thompson and Company Limited, Spice Isle Imaging Center, Springs Food Mart, and Blue Bubbles PA Rental and Event Supplies. Proud partners of the 18th Annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Grenada Trade Center, 7:30 p.m.
Welcome back once again to our listeners and the viewers this morning. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. With me this morning, we have Jacqueline Alexis with us this morning. Of course, she's the chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee. Let's go say good morning to you once again. Ms. Alexis, welcome back. Welcome back.
Thank you, JT.
I want to continue on our conversation this morning. This time I want to talk a wee bit about the criteria for selecting a national hero. I think we should, well, there are a lot of individuals who are listening to us this morning, and everyone may have mixed views in terms of the selection process, who and who shouldn't, and such like that. Now, how talk to us a wee bit about the criteria, how this process will be done, and when a hero is selected, is it something that we're going to have on a yearly basis?
Right.
Okay. Are we going to have a national hero selected every year, or is it going to be pushed off every 5 years or so? Is there a determined way of doing it? So maybe if you could share that information this morning, that will bring some clarification to individuals who sit down there and have there are mixed views as relation to this. So,
no criteria has been set yet, and this is why when I talked earlier about the process and the need to go through the process, and we have to, there must be consultation. It has to be enacted into law. You can't just go ahead and do it without having legislation and so on. So there has to be a process, and that's partly why it has not happened yet, in that the process must follow through with the process. So the criteria hasn't been set. It's open right now for once we have gone through the first part of the process and we do the consultation, for people to give their ideas and give their thoughts on what they believe a hero is and who is the type of person that would be selected as a hero. What is it that person should have, or in your view should have done, to warrant them getting what would be the highest accolade?
Yes,
a country could place on a citizen. So, we must go through a formal process in order to ensure that it is done properly and it is done in consultation, and that we once we set it, this is a legacy we're leaving, so we have to make sure it's done right. So I think the other thing that I didn't mention, or I don't know if people will remember, that the Prime Minister would have announced it, that they are giving consideration to National Heroes Park. And I think these two things would have to go hand in hand.
Yes.
So the identifying of where the national park would be, the establishment of it, the readiness of it, and then the two really should come hand in hand.
All right. I did also ask in reference to the national heroes. Would it be something that will be selected every year? Although you didn't mention how they put the criteria, or you don't have a criteria.
I don't have a criteria.
When you go through the different process, but
I can only give you my personal opinion.
You know,
my
but
personal
would it be something
opinion.
that every year we're going to have somebody selected, if that's possible or not?
My personal feeling is that it would dilute the process if you just every year you name a hero. So in 10 years' time we've got 10 national heroes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that, for me, it doesn't feel like the right way to go. However, this committee has not been established yet, and when that happens and the criteria is set, we will see what happens. But for me, I would think it would be something you might do every 5 years or so. I don't know that every year really feels the right way to go. For National Hero, that does not mean that on a yearly basis you cannot have recognition awards for people in our communities who have made significant contributions on whatever level, whether it's in education, in farming, in sports, in culture. There is nothing, there's nothing to stop us from giving, from recognizing the people who are making a difference in our communities and to our nation. And that, I would say, you could do that every year.
Yes.
But in terms of naming a national hero, that is something I think that has to happen, kind of, that level. I don't think that can be something that would happen every year, not in my view.
All right, understandably so. I mean, as you said, you don't want it being clustered every year, that the have to go through that entire process of wanting to select someone, and then it becomes a problem where the individual think, well, is this person deserving?
Exactly.
Of obtaining such a high status to the public.
And it has to be, it has to be something that the country agrees with. That this is the criteria, and this is the caliber of person that we would want to be able to name a national hero.
All right. Now, the committee, as you spoke of, you said have not been selected, but has there ever been any timeline for when to get in that committee? If we're going to get it next year, if we want to get it done next year, is there any timeline?
I don't have a timeline. I hope that that's something that the Prime Minister will address at some point. I can't give you a timeline at this moment. Because obviously, when you start getting involved with legislation and so on, and drafting legislation and so on, like these things take time.
Yes.
Hopefully we have something next year, but I can't tell you exactly what that is.
Down to that safe for now. All right. It's to the point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. We drew for a break once again. Let's take it. We're coming back with much more for you. And also have the option of allowing you, our listeners and viewers, you want to chime in. If you have a question or two you may like to ask, feel free to do so when we come back in the next segment. Don't touch it all, folks. We will be right back.
You're invited.
Grenada is invited to be a part of the National Heroes Day commemoration on Saturday, October 19th, 2024 at Progress Park in St. Andrew from 9:30 a.m. to 12 midday. National Heroes Day will be commemorated under the theme Unity in commemorating our heroes, past, present, and future. Speakers at the National Heroes Day commemoration will include the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, Prime Minister of Grenada, and the Honorable Ralph Gonzalez, Prime Minister of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. An exciting and entertaining cultural package will form part of the celebrations. Organize your groups now and let's make this a most memorable event in recognition of the sacrifices and achievements of our national heroes. Free transportation will be provided. National Heroes Day Commemoration 2024, Saturday, October 19th, Progress Park in St. Andrew.
Grenada Trade Center, Dana's Tasty Foods and the City Inn, Victory Bar, Dean's Mattress, and Classic Lighting. Proud partners of the 18th Annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Grenada Trade Center, 7:30 p.m.
Hi, we're here at Answer Coating Grenada Limited, a proud sponsor of Christmas with GBN. And this year, we're giving up to 40% off various items.
And the customers actually have the opportunity to win up to $1,000 cash. So we encourage you to stay tuned to Christmas with GBN and look out for all other in-store promotions and product information.
And don't forget, this December, a night of shopping with Answer Coatings.
Proud sponsors of Christmas with GBN includes Ace Hardware, Hubbard's, Flow, Grenada Duty Free, and Answer Coatings.
Welcome back once again to our listeners and viewers. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. Good morning also those of you via social media platforms. I think I didn't mention you for the morning as yet. Good morning to you, and thanks for being with us here on the program this morning. Mr. Alexis, welcome back once again.
Thank you, Gigi.
Let's talk a wee bit about Progress Park. We did touch a little bit in the previous segments, but I want to get it more. The individuals who might be thinking, I want to get to Progress Park for, even though the celebrations this year. Tell us a wee bit, of course, how that's going to happen for individuals who decide they want to be fair.
Well, of course, it is a public holiday,
yes.
So we will be providing free buses right across the country. So you just need to contact your local parliamentary office or constituency office. They've all been given the mandate to provide buses.
Okay.
So there should be enough buses for everyone who wishes to join us. And the invitation is there for all. It's a national event. It's for all Grenadians. So please take advantage of the free bus and come out and join us.
All right. Well, I certainly hope, of course, we get Progress Park filled to capacity and everyone come out and be part of the celebrations there, because, of course...
And wear something white. We're asking people to wear something white. Don't have to be completely white, but just... Yeah. Wear a little white.
Of course, with the guest speakers and so forth, the Prime Minister and all the other entertainment packages that comes along, right. It should be an exciting...
It'll be a lovely morning. It'll be a really nice morning. So the weather stays good. It'll be a lovely morning.
Sure. 435-2041. If you do have a question or two, you may like to ask Mr. Alexis, feel free to, or Mrs. Alexis, feel free to do so in this segment. And it's all about, of course, she's, of course, the chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee, and we're talking about National Heroes Day coming up on the 19th, just a couple of days from now. And feel free to call and ask a question or two. This was a whole lot of information this morning. Brought some clarification for those who have had that misconception that what it's about and know you brought that clarification. Folks may now understand what is really taking place, and so no longer folks could be in that worrying stage.
Yes, exactly.
as individuals.
Exactly. I'm glad I was able to at least clarify some of that this morning. Yeah.
All right. 435-2041. The lines are open. So if you do have a question or two, feel free to do so in this segment. We do have our first caller. Let me say good morning to the caller. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Good morning, Mr. Telesford. Greetings and greetings to you, guest.
Good morning to you, sir.
Mr. Telesford, I don't like to be confused. So whenever I feel that I am getting confused, I question and question more. For this reason, I ask the following. I'm seeking some clarity. Your guest sat there and told me, quote unquote, in relation to the initiation or the commencement of the establishment of a National Heroes Park, that the Prime Minister, quote unquote, would have announced ... I don't know if you can give me further clarity on why the Prime Minister had not announced What had to happen for him to do it? But don't know, this is rhetorical, but listen, I'm certain that in fact she would tell me he did. Well, all right. Tell me, therefore, that the Prime Minister had announced. Would have plus the past participle does not tell you what happened, for what it's worth. The second thing is this. Again, I'm hearing your guest being introduced as the chairperson of the National Celebrations Committee. Wasn't it established that Dr. Wendy Crawford was? Can you get that clarified for us, please? And finally, in speaking about the awards granted in this here country, you spoke of some awards just in passing, those given by the king and the monarch, as being different to those given here by our people at the national level. But here it is. If the king is the king of Grenada and rules over us, as expressed with great alacrity by the so-called Governor General, what sense does it make that he hands out a list of awardees and then we do it the same? I don't understand that. Can you clarify? I trust that my three queries can be given some thought and elaborated on. For what it's worth, have a nice day. Will you, sir?
Thank you. Have a good morning yourself, sir. Response to the caller?
Okay, well, thank you for your questions. First, let me answer the simple one, is that the National Celebrations Committee that I am chair of is different to the National Organising Committee, which Dr. Wendy Crawford was chair of. The National Organising Committee was in place for the 50th anniversary celebrations only.
Okay.
Because it was the 50th, it was felt we had to do it. Well, obviously, people know what took place. So you could see it was done on a level that came directly through government and through that committee. And so Dr. Wendy Crawford was in place for, I guess, a year, and that year is coming almost to an end. The National Celebrations Committee has been in existence for a number of years now, pre-me, and will continue, post-me, to be responsible for national events. So next year's Independence celebrations will be done under the National Celebrations Committee again, as will National Heroes Day, etc. So I hope that answers that question. I do believe that the Prime Minister has announced on a number of occasions that there is consideration being given to establishing a National Heroes Park. I don't know that they have yet identified a spot for that park, but that is on the agenda. And that is something I know that the Prime Minister has made mention of on a number of occasions. Have I answered all his questions?
There was another question as relates to that, as also
the honours.
The honours, yes.
Well, yes, I mean the honours
from the King and so forth.
That's right, because the honours that come through from the King through the Governor General are honours such as CBE, an MBE and OBE, and we as a nation don't have the right to just do that. That is something that must come from the King.
Okay. All right. A question that came to mind: would there be any activity at Fort George this year? Any commemorative activity at Fort George?
I believe that the Maurice Bishop Martyrs Foundation is hosting something. I think I've seen something online, and that is.
But the National
Celebrations Committee is not doing anything on the fort. I mean, really, the fort is not big enough to hold a national event. It's also still under construction, as I understand it.
Okay.
So, we wouldn't be doing a huge national event up there.
Okay. 435-2041, 435-2041. That's a number. If you do have a question or two you may like to ask, of course, Mrs. Alexis here on the program, feel free to do so. In this segment, we do have another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Well, the names for the people who are to be honored has to be sent up to the King. I don't understand how when we say that the king make appointment based on the names that we sent up to him or her. I hope this is clear. Over.
Okay,
yes, the names go up to the king from the Governor General's committee that she has in place. But at the end of the day, they are still, those names are about CBs and OBEs and MBEs. They're not about naming national heroes. They're not recognition awards that we can give as a nation. That committee, we were just trying to establish the difference between the Governor General's committee and the committee that is going to be established to look at national heroes. That doesn't get done by any input from the king. That is the country.
Okay. Caller, good morning, you're live.
Good morning. Yeah, I was thinking that if there would be for citizens that has made contribution, like teachers, police officers, doctors, and so forth, that will be like honored, like how we do have the heroes. The heroes, in my understanding, it's utilitarianism where one good is for all the rest. Like one person, we know who our heroes are. Maurice Bishop died, he gave his life for the citizens of Grenada. We must consider it. People may have differences in understanding, so we need to educate our people. And I do believe that as for Grenada perspective, that every citizen is the most valuable asset, and they must be considered, and that must be known. And we need to reinforce education so our people can be a better people for a better nation. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. In response to the caller, Mr. Alexis?
Well, I think we did talk about the fact that we would look, that there would be recognition awards. Not hero making, but awards maybe on an annual basis where you recognise, yes, police officers, teachers, people who, as we said, would have made significant impacts within their community or within the country. Again, that's still different to actually naming a hero.
All right. And you did say St. Andrew will be the focus.
And St. Andrews is the focus this year.
Okay. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. I think it is good to honor the heroes and to recognize people. But I find here in the Caribbean, we tend to overdo it. I know we are a small island, and sometimes we really overdo it. And so just keep it, keep it within perspective. The honoring and the plaque and naming this one so and giving this one honorary doctorate, sometimes it is overdone. I saw on the news this morning a cricketer was given an honorary doctorate because he's a great cricketer. A doctorate is an academic achievement, and we can't go around naming everybody who do something, giving them an honorary doctorate. Use doctor this because you're a great cricketer. We need to leave some of these titles and we recognition and so where it is necessary and where it is merited. Please don't go around calling nobody so and giving honorary doctorate. Please, like they did to this cricketer in Antigua. It is diminishing and trivializing the doctorates and the so's. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. I appreciate your call. 435-2041, 435. I guess you understand where the caller is coming from.
Absolutely. And it's what we've been talking about all morning, is you don't just name heroes for the sake of naming heroes. You don't just give awards for the sake of giving awards. And that is why when we talked about, will we be naming a hero every year, I don't think we can name a hero every year. I think we will end up diluting the value of it. So, again, that's my personal feeling.
All right. We drew for a break, and this I'm going to be coming back, and we'll take much more of your calls. For listeners and viewers, stick around with us, folks. It's to the point. We'll be back in our final segment after the break. Don't touch it.
Grenada, get ready to celebrate the magic of the season with Christmas with GBN. Starting November 4th, join us weekdays from 10 a.m. to 12 noon on GBN Television, K105 and Hot 98.
Monday kicks off with traditional stories and wellness, featuring a storytelling session with Labukan Creative Center, giveaways, nutrition tips, and live calls to share your holiday wishes. On Tuesday brings Craft Day with live and pre-recorded workshops guided by local artisans. Join us for more giveaways and connect through live calls. Wednesday features an outdoor production showcase, giving local sponsors a chance to shine from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. On Thursday, it highlights a local cuisine showcase at True Blueberry Resort. And on Friday, it wraps up the week with live entertainment in our studio, showcasing local artists and more opportunities for live calls. Don't miss out on the joy and togetherness this holiday season. Celebrate with us on Christmas with GBN.
Dollar Savers, Chillaxin Cafe, Vibe Island Drinks and Blue Light Gin, and Chateau de la Motte, Grenada, proud partners of the 18th annual Hubbard's Legends in Concert, Saturday, October 26th, Grenada Trade Center, 7:30 p.m.
As Grenada grapples with the devastation of Hurricane Beryl, Season 3 of GBN's Our Climate Reality program is focusing on the impact of climate change on small island developing states. Join us on GBN Television, K105 FM, and our Facebook page and YouTube channel for Season 3 of Our Climate Reality, Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. Compliments, Grenada Paper Products, and Classic Lighting.
Welcome back once again to listeners and viewers this morning to The Point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. With us this morning, we have Ms. Jacqueline and Alexis with us this morning, and we're talking about National Heroes Day celebrations coming up. Progress Park on the 19th. It's a holiday on that day.
It is a holiday.
And
National holiday.
Certainly inviting all to come on out and be part of the celebrations. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning, GT. You know, it's a little while now. This thing has been going on in terms of Heroes Day. But I'm sure when it was first voiced, you know, it had been, I guess the people who already voiced this opinion in the past, they have been taking into account the fact that many innocent people would have died on October 19th. And I'm sure even people, planners know, they may have this in mind to just show, not that everybody would be a hero, but to at least recognize the fact that many people would have died innocently on the fourth, on that day. Maurice Bishop and his team was killed. So I'm just thinking of the whole idea now. When they mention National Heroes Day and want to take in those people who have died innocently, then the theme, the National Heroes Day, would not fit the whole idea of taking into consideration everybody who have died innocently as well as the national heroes themselves. So maybe some adjustments will have to be made to the theme National Heroes Day, or some adjustment may have to be made to it, something more should be added, or something else should be done to take in the people who would have died innocently in the foot. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much for your call this morning. Any response to the caller? I guess you take into consideration.
I don't necessarily have a response. I mean, certainly within the commemoration on Saturday, there will be a reflection section where we will call out the names of those who would have perished on October 19th, 1983. So we will have a remembrance element to the program. Whether there are changes made to it in the future, who knows? Maybe when consultation starts and that we start to go through that process, maybe those thoughts and ideas that come through might have an impact, and maybe changes would be made
on the way forward.
On the way forward, exactly.
Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Morning. I'm very confused. I want to know why is this King James equation if we're an independent nation? Explain it to me. Free ourselves from mental brainwash. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
Didn't get what you said clearly, caller, but let me just, there's of course, information here from someone via the WhatsApp. Maybe I could read it out to you, and if you could respond. Someone is saying, from what I'm hearing, we are independent and we still rule by the king. Does the king pay the governor general, or if not, why Mr. Rowling incessantly imploring that Grenadians are to get their government to change their consultation to reflect the true independence? And it seems as no one is listening for some reason.
You've gone beyond my realm of knowledge. Whether the king pays the governor general or Grenada pays the governor general, you have to ask the Minister of Finance.
I certainly do understand where the person's coming, but it's not a conversation.
It's not the conversation
that we are certainly having this morning.
Then you get an expert who knows about these things.
All right. Let's take another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning. You're welcome, and you're live.
Yeah, grand rising, my brother and my sister. My thing is we're building and we're talking about a hero park that is in Cameron Park down there. I happen to pass over the airport and see all the create a park also for the Cubans who died, who gave their life to Grenada. Yeah, this same set of people are talking, when last they went up there, who maintained in that place and wants the condition up there. We need to be serious when we're talking about the national hero and people that make sacrifice for Grenada. And we just say something now, and next 2, 3, 4 years, government change, and nobody doing nothing or maintaining it. Go take a drive, and anybody drive over the airport, and watch the condition for the Cubans who really dying. That's my contribution. If this park could develop into something, I'm not just talking about Maurice Bishop, and could go back as far as Fedo, come back and bring back so we can educate our future generation about our past, our present, and where we are going. I happy with it. But if it's just for game and politics, I'm not in support of it. It's time we start educating our people and start taking things much more serious than that. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Appreciate your contribution this morning. 435-2041, 435. So,
I agree. We could go much further back than Maurice Bishop and Geary. We could go as far back as Fedon. Of course we can.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any restrictions on that. I do agree also that if we establish something, then we should look after it.
I agree.
The establishment, I don't know about Camerhorn Park. I don't know if that's the official site. I can't answer to that. But wherever it is, it has to be a site that is taken care of. It has to be a site that is maintained and that is open to the public to be able to go and spend time and reflect and it will be a space that would have plaques and monuments and so on established within it to those heroes. So it has to be well taken care of and it has to be well maintained.
We do have another caller. Caller via WhatsApp. Good morning, and you're live.
Yes, good morning, Madam Lady. Good morning, GT. Listen, the monument at the airport, above the airport, as far as I understand, it's a monument, not a park, right? And I'm up there every day. It's maintained. I mean, the painting of the place and all of that is okay. It's just that with the rainy season, the grass grows, so they just have to make sure around it is clean. But it's maintained, and so to say that it's not maintained is not true, right? I'm up there every day as a taxi driver. I'm one of those who actually got shot on the fort, and I give praise and thanks to God for being alive still, and to be in the land of the living. I want to congratulate the committee for what they're doing. Keep up the good work, and God bless you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you.
Appreciate it a whole lot. So we do get some clarification from the previous caller who called in relation to the conditions of that area. Caller, good morning. You're live.
Yes, good morning. The citizens wanted this holiday, and they got it. I think it was last year. And I think it is beautiful that it fell on a Saturday. You know why? It shows how real and how sincere the people were in wanting this holiday. Did they really wanted to celebrate the heroes, or did they want another holiday? Because I am hearing people complain, well, it fall on a Saturday, why we ain't getting the Monday off? So this is a true test. Was it the holiday, extra holiday you wanted? Because Grenadians like holidays. Or did you want a day to commemorate the heroes? You got a day to commemorate the heroes. It's on Saturday. Accept the day. Do what it was meant for, and don't want an extra holiday on Monday. This is the true test as to what the meaning and the advocating for this holiday was. It is to celebrate. If it falls on a Saturday, it falls on a Saturday. Don't ask for the Monday off. And the people who want the Monday off, it shows you the insincerity in wanting the holiday. They just want an extra day to go and drink, wine up, and have fun. Celebrate it on Saturday and stop asking for Monday. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Thank you,
Appreciate
caller.
your call a whole lot. We have a caller via WhatsApp. Caller via WhatsApp, good morning, and you're live.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. Go right ahead, please.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting with this hero day thing in Grenada. Maurice Bishop thought his followers Gary was a dictator. Now Gary is a hero. So Maurice Bishop died on October 19th. And his followers want to make him a hero, so Gary is a hero. Secondly, Grenada is running out of public cemetery because people have moved away from the traditional religion and they're into other religion. And if you don't go to the colonial religion, when you die, the priest don't want to bury you. Grenadians are not taking care of the parents and grandparents who died. They bury their parents, their grandparents. They spend money on casket. They don't go back to clean the grave. They don't be living in our sense again. But October 19 is Hero Day. What make Maurice Bishop a hero? There were people in jail. The day Maurice Bishop was executed or murdered, a lot of people get freedom. So how he is a hero? I don't know. We back to Westminster democracy. So what make him a hero? That's my question.
Well, just to be clear, nobody has been announced a hero. So Maurice Bishop has not been announced at this point, announced a national hero. Nobody has.
Okay. We do have another caller via WhatsApp. Caller via WhatsApp, good morning, and you're live.
Yeah. Grand Rising, you're not calling back. Okay,
be brief, please, caller.
Not calling. Hello?
No, I asked of you to be brief, please.
Yeah, I am brief. Yes. I applaud the caller that calling and say, yes, he does be by the park. But let me tell you, I'm a historian. I study history, and I know how these places supposed to be. The condition this place up there, it should be better than that for what we're selling. Okay? I've been to the King's Park in China. I've been in the Museum of Art in Scotland. I've been in the Queen Park, and I know how this place is supposed to be. It is not in the condition for what you're selling. And that is all I'm saying. We could do better than that. That is all I'm saying.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. We do have another caller. Caller, good morning, and you're live.
Yeah, morning. The caller who called just now and that talk about we not even honoring our dead relatives by killing the graves, but we want to honor everybody else on Hero Days. That is a very good point, because when you look at the cemeteries, the other day I went into a cemetery. It is people tying animals in the cemetery. I go to see one of my relatives' graves, and a goat, big goat, sprawl out on it. And goat feces all over the monuments and all over the graves. And this caller will bring a very good point. Honor our loved ones, the grandmothers and the people we put in the grave. Those are the monuments. Go in there, keep the cemetery clean. Let the Ministry of Health, let the caretakers know of the cemeteries, respect it. A cemetery is a sacred place for us to honor and respect our loved ones. When we go there to remember them, it must be a sacred place. Keep the cemeteries clean, whether they have a caretaker or whether it's individual people themselves. Don't be hypocrite. And it is not a place to tie the cows and the goats. And when you go there, you have to go through all of the feces, and you're going on your loved one graves, and it is a mess. He is right. Look after your pot first before you try to look after the neighbor pot. Take out
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much.
So that's a very good point. Look after our heroes in the cemetery.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Caller via WhatsApp, good morning, and you're welcome and you're live.
GT, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
To the lady. Nice colors. You're both wearing red, and it's amazing that I'm wearing red up here too. Anyway, okay, I think what we need in Grenada, basically, we need CP. We need to bring back that CP program. Because I'm here and I listen some people, right? Like this morning I listening to a program concerning the same heroes, people calling. And one lady said that, oh, Kit Mitchell win election 3 times 3-0, he should be a hero. You understand? And what are going to ask the government to do to have some town hall meeting and explain this thing to people? You know what I mean? And let us bring back that CPE program, because education is very important in Grenada, I realize. Because some of the nonsense that come from our people home, it's amazing. And when we sit down up here and we listen, and we have people from other countries listening to what we're saying. You understand? The lady came and she explaining herself so good, but yet they're going to have people on the negative side. So please, asking this young lady, when she go back and the city prime minister, tell him we need CP program again in Grenada. Thank you, GT.
Thank you, caller. Thank you so much. Appreciate your call this morning. We just have approximately 2 more minutes left on the program this morning. Just a brief recap, of course, October 19th, National Heroes Day. What folks want to expect once again before we take a wrap this morning?
Saturday, Progress Park, 9:30 to 12. Come out and join. The invitation is there for all to join us. We commemorating under the theme Unity in commemorating our heroes, past, present, and future. This is an opportunity for us to come together, to unify, to reflect and remember, and look towards the future. Get your free bus. Get on your free bus and come and join us. And then you have the rest of the day to go and reflect and remember in your own space, in your own personal way.
All right. Once again, Mr. Alexis, I want to thank you a whole lot for being on the program this morning. I appreciate you coming in and offering the clarification of a whole lot, especially with the whole issue that people have been having, the confusion, the mix-up folks been having, and so thinking that we are going to be having selecting a national hero this year. That's not going to be happening as yet until the committee, as you said, is selected and the process goes through.
The process goes through, the right process
goes through, and then we will have a hero selected. So until have a great day, and
thank you,
hope
GT.
we have
Always
a
good
great
to see
National
you. Thank
Heroes
you
Day
so
coming
much.
up on the 19th, and I certainly hope all Grenadians come out and be part of the celebration.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Hey, folks, that's where we take a wrap for this edition of To The Point for today. Thanks all who contributed some way or the other. Have yourself a good one, folks. That's where we say goodbye for today. Goodbye, folks.